Let's see if I have a question. Tanya. Have I missed anyone's question in between? Tanya says, hi Mehran. Can you mention 3 good reasons to break up apart from cheating, lying, or other serious breaches of trust? Yeah, not bonding on consciousness level. Look, there's enough differences in each one of us, what our consciousness, that if you're not focused on compromising and understanding that this is normal and understanding each other's consciousness and find things in common and bond on that level, you will break up anyhow. So all these other reasons that you said means nobody has really, on top of the fact that bad behavior is creeping into that person, the cheating and the lying and all that. Also, there is no bonding on consciousness level. It's all physical. You want to attain something, so you're constantly going for your pleasure and the things that you want. That's hence the cheating. Because if you're really bonding on consciousness level, you understand why you're there, what you're really enjoying of that person. But again, let's don't be so quick on judgment. The cheating sometimes, it's only the need for that intimacy, which is programmed in the genes, mostly in men, that they are looking for procreation. They're programmed to look for female. It doesn't necessarily mean that the love for the one that they love is not there because they cheated. It's something that they haven't come to grasp with it, that is now a different era, and they're supposedly not to do this because the customs and legalities and so on says don't cheat when you're with your girlfriend, don't go and make love with another, have sex with another woman. But that's the rule, that's the custom, that's the new civilized regulation, let's say. But that's contrary to the actual makeup of a man. Man is not, in his genes, this doesn't have ethical rules that when and why or why you shouldn't, what it means to the other, is just programmed to look for female. But now we have learned that, look, in order to have a civilized society and a more organized one, you got to be committed to one woman. And it's always, for women's side, has always been pretty much loyalty to the one man that they're with. But it's always been the man that has been going after other females in the history of the world, in the history of humanity. Why? Because that is the nature of the program that they have for procreation. They're programmed to go seek and make love for procreation, because that's how the earth was going to be populated. So such a program in the gene was necessary, apparently, whatever has made us all to be here. Now, in time, economic reasons and civility and to give order to the societies that we're living in, human being realized that you can't constantly follow your program in your gene and go and have sex with this woman and that woman. They could be with another man, and that one could be with another man. They could be having relations. They could chaos was beginning to. So they came up with all these society and community and cultural rules and regulations, and suddenly this whole business became part of, you have to follow a certain rule. The woman became a commodity, supposedly, because everybody was after it because of the program they had, the pleasure and sex and procreation and all that. And then it was against, it was supposed to be controlled because of the chaos that it had created. And if it wasn't, put some rule on it, there would be some differences in the way people would react toward each other, always fights for a woman, always distrust, always insecurity. So they come up with all these regulations, and those regulations is now taking hold and becoming part of the new culture of humanity, to understand that, okay, as long as you guys are together, one woman and one man, cheating is bad. But yet the man is still having that program that was originally put in his genes and is functioning on that level, and haven't been able to control and comply and come to understanding that there are new ways of interacting with the society, and these old ways of going after whatever you thought that you should sexually connect with is no longer acceptable. So they're still in the infancy. Through civilized behavior, through learning, through logic, they're trying to curtail and control that behavior of that genome that is in there, which is going to be very difficult and takes a strong man not to indulge in outside of the relationship intimacy possibilities. So while it is frowned upon today, nobody is supposed to entertain this idea of extramarital or extra relationship affairs, but we have to also understand it's not totally under control yet, because it is just going against the actual program that is in the genome, and logically we're trying to control the instinct. That's going to take a bit of a doing, and many of us have been successful, and the best way possibly to help us in order to cross that bridge is to focus on bonding on consciousness level. Because if we don't bond on conscious level, there would not be enough strength of loyalty, love, and compatibility and harmony created between the two, between the man and his woman, or vice versa, or whatever your relationship is. And then if it's not enough bonding on that level, there wouldn't be enough respect and care to nurture that relationship, that feeling, that bonding. Not enough respect for it, not enough reasons for it, because you don't have enough bonding other than that intimacy, desire of instinct. So bonding on conscious level brings durability and longevity to the relationship, because you will see each one of you are a lot more than the pleasure that you can provide for the other. There's a lot more to you than just a physical entity, and you will connect on those levels. You'll fall in love with all those aspects of have made each one of your centers and each one of your entirety of the entity. And that's when the relationship could have much more chance than if it's just driven by the instinct, as how it was thousands of years ago, or 1,000,000 years ago. I don't know how many years ago. And that's a challenge. So while it is definitely frowned upon, but let's still be a little bit patient sometimes in some cases when men make such horrible mistake and follow their instincts and program that they're still trying to deal with, to learn logically to subdue it, to be loyal to one woman. It's not hard, but especially in younger age, it's going to be a little bit challenging. But understanding that why you're doing it, it will help you to realize that it's not worth it. Because the reason you're doing it is not because you don't love your girlfriend, it's because you're following your genome, and you should be aware of it to bond with her on consciousness level, so it'll be so much more feeling and reasons to love her that you can never find it in just another fling or another intimacy with another girl, no matter how much intrigued and infatuated you may have come to be by the desire to be with that other girl. Anyhow, so much to talk about this topic, but perhaps it's something to chew on. So, coming back to your question, I think we digressed from it so far. So, Tanya again says, mention 3 good reasons to break up apart from cheating, lying, or other serious breaches of trust. Abuse, physically or mentally. Manipulation, which stems from the person's, man or woman, whichever, selfishness. A lack of respect. I think that would be the 3. Lack of respect, manipulation based on selfishness, and what was the first one? I forgot. Whatever, there was a 3rd one. Respect, I guess, no? Okay, let's go on to the next one. I think I covered it. I said it. There are 3 of them there. There's a lot more, you know. Abuse, mentally and physically. Lack of respect, selfishness, manipulation. These are all reasons. Because if you cannot provide that elusive psychological security in a relationship, which comes from understanding your own needs, you know, if you go back to that famous sentence of don't do to the others what you don't want to be done to you, something like that. Well, look inward and see what is your need in a relationship. Why are you in a relationship? Beside all the other reasons that we know, the intimacy and the sex and all that so forth, and warmth and friendship, but there is that psychological security that you're in pursuit of. And you're trying to find that in love and relationship to be secure. And what that security means: security from being abused, security being emotionally abused, security from physically abused, security from being cheated, security to be away from being victimized, security from being lied to, security from having to watch and see if you can trust or not, security from not being able to count on your story of life the next day, security, and then psychological security is what encompasses the whole thing. So if that is what you're really looking for, why don't you understand that is what the other person is also looking for? So on that basis, you will have to take a little bit more. When you're really serious in a relationship, you have made your choice. It's not like you're just trying to find your choice. Okay, I understand that. You go with someone for a while, for a year or 2 or a few months, or then it's not, you don't think that's what it is. Okay, fine. But eventually when you actually commit yourself to say, okay, I've been with this girl or the girl, this man or whatever you're into, you realize that your relationship with your partner, it's gone long enough that you guys got to know each other enough, and you feel you want to be committed. This is the person. Unless he or she does something wrong, you want to see how far this goes. Then that's the time that you make your choice and you stay focused on you're there for psychological security and build on that. All right, let's go on with the next one and see what we have here.